A merry meet to you all, my lovelies, and I am Willow, and welcome to Whispers of Willow, my channel. I am a fellow witch and have been practicing in the craft for many years. And one of my dedications and one of my true loves and passions is educating and teaching others thinking about coming into the craft or people that have just started working in the craft. As a fellow practitioner that started out from a young age, I know how daunting and how hard it can be to understand the craft and to understand what your needs are going to be. So I'm here to give you some series on some very important topics that as witches we feel are important to share and for you to understand. These elements and shows will help you to walk on your path and your journey as a witch and help you to become more confident and more open in your craft. Becoming a witch is an amazing experience, and you learn and you awaken to many things in life. But sometimes just starting out in that path can be a daunting way, and you think, how am I going to do these things? How am I going to understand? How am I going to know when I'm communicating? How do I know that I'm calling out to deities and energies in the correct way? Am I writing my prayers right, or have I picked up the right prayers? But that's what these videos and series are for, helping you and giving you guidance along your path. These will be able to be videos and things that you can go back on to recap, refresh your mind, and also be there to give you guidance and to help you on your journey, helping you to become confident and helping you to awaken and find your true and inner self. The three topics that I will be covering in my shows are topics that I feel are very important to any new coming witch working and becoming part of the craft. These elements and these topics that I'm going to be speaking to you about will very much be part of your everyday life as a witch and in your practices and your workings. And I do feel that these elements and energies and ways of what we use are important to be sharing with our new and upcoming witches to the craft. So, my three topics that I feel are very important for you to understand as a new and a beginner witch is what we call you. The more established witches always welcome new witches as beginner witches. Some people call them baby witches, but a lot of people find that not a very good phrase. So I say beginner witches. So you're not somebody that is unknowledgeable, but you are summoned to be willing to open and to be connected, to grow in your true essence and your true self. My classes, my lessons will help you to do so. This show is connected to my Willow'S Witchy Den series that started a couple of years ago. And it is also associated to my educational class that I do with the other sisters, which is known as 101. So for me, the aspects and the elements and topics that I'm talking to you about that are really important to understand is knowing your gods and goddesses, the different types of witches and their practices, and the 8 witches' Sabbaths. These are very important elements of witchcraft and are elements that we use on a daily basis. Our gods, goddesses, as everyone coming into the craft would know, are the very energies that help us, guide us, support us, and teach us in our craft and help us to grow into our true and higher self. The 8 Sabbaths are the will of the year, which is a very much important and celebrated way in our craft. The 8 Sabbaths mark the year and special celebrations that we celebrate and we honor and we worship. So these elements are very important to learn. And the last topic, different types of witches. Now, let's face it, a witch is a witch, is what you would say. But believe it or not, there are many different types of witches in this world. And they all practice and do their crafts in different ways. It's very important when becoming in the craft and becoming a witch. It's important to know your path, your structure, and your baseline. What type of witch are you going to be? What sort of workings do you want to do? Looking into different types of practices as witches, you may find that you're connected to one element. You may find that you're connected to several. Your choice is yours. I am known as what you would call an eclectic witch. I am a witch that's open to all types of practices and forms of magic. I find truth and elements in all aspects of magic, including Wiccan and paganism. But I am naturally taught. I have not been taught or taught under other people. I have learned through my own essence, my own education, and my own experiences, and working with my divine and my deities on the other side. Over my years of practice, learning, studying, and researching, I have become my true self and true element. I am established in my craft, and I know my path, and I know what I am walking. And I know that part of my path is educating and reaching out to new coming witches to the craft. I think that education is key. And I think that there should be more shows where you can be educated, taught, and learn to do it correctly and safely so that you can have the best from your craft, your power, and yourself. Elements and things that are very important to understand when becoming a witch is that all of the intention, all of the magic, all of the power that you confide in is within you and can be amplified by the tools and garments you use in your craft. I think that these topics that I'm going to be sharing with you in this series are very important, but there will be other videos where I will talk to you about other important elements in the craft, such as your witch's reed and a threefold rule, learning you and talking to you about how to be comfortable in your own self, giving you a little bit more information on things like meditations, how to connect to deities and energies, learning you about how to read and do scriptures, doing opening prayers and circles for your rituals and for your spell work. But I think the first most important factors is knowing what type of witch you're going to be, what types of deities and gods, goddesses you are going to work with, and understanding the 8 Sabbaths, our celebrations that are very important to us witches and really mark the cultural aspects of who we are. I think that this education is also important because let's face it, as witches, a lot of us get scrutinized for what we do. We get misunderstood and we get spoke about in ways that are not quite true. Okay. A lot of people, when they hear the word witch, they depict us as being these negative, evil, curse and hex bearing creatures. We are not that. There may be some out there that do that. That is really their intention, but that all comes with a price. I will say that, guys. I am a witch that works in the light, wanting to bring love, goodness, and I am answering my calling from my divine. And my calling is to help you, but also to help you to realize and to see that witches are not bad people. We are healers. We are people that understand the world, the natural world, and the universe. We understand how things run and how things connect and how we are all connected as being one. But in using power and magic through tools, gifts, and elements given to us by our natural world and our world itself, we are given energy, power, and essence within us from our divine and from our deities. We are all magical beings and we all have the capability to be able to work and to connect with the other side, to be able to amplify and make our lives better. We can all have the capability to help others and help them to walk forward in their paths. It's just learning how to use that magic, learning to be confident and to believe in what you do. These are true and important essences when becoming witches. You have to have belief. You have to trust in your intuition and in your gut feeling. You should always be awakened and open to any signs, signals, or any form of communication that the universe and the divine may be giving out to you. Becoming a witch means opening yourself to the spiritual realms, opening yourself to the natural world, and opening yourself to your true self and true power. This does not come without hard work. I always recommend that for new coming witches, for the first couple of years, it should be dedicated to learning about the craft, learning about different witches' practices, learning about different gods and goddesses, learning about the Sabbaths, learning about aspects such as the moon and the sun, learning how to connect, using tools to help you to become awakened, such as meditation, taking walks in nature and connecting and opening and balancing, learning to protect and keep yourself safe when working, knowing the tools and aspects that you need to be working with and that can help you in your practice and help you to grow as a practitioner. It's also important to show these elements in all that I teach you. I'm a very open book and I will talk to you about the things I know are okay to open and be spoken about. Anybody coming into the craft needs to understand that there will always be elements and things that you teach and learn with your deities that are not to be shared with others and are secret. But there will be many things that they will look to you to share and to educate to others. But your first couple of years should be solely dedicated to researching and studying into different types of witches, how to work with gods, goddesses, and deities, and learning about the Sabbaths. These are the really important aspects that start your witch's journey and help you to start to be connected and to be awakened. Using aspects such as meditations and things to help you to go forward in your path is a good way. Not only does it awaken you spiritually, but it also helps and it guides you and it opens you visually so you can achieve and receive word, message, and sign. It is very important to have your belief, and it's very important to trust in what you see, feel, and you hear. Never question what you do, and always be confident in what you do. I would never suggest to anybody to start casting spells and doing their magic straight away. It all starts with you learning, educating, and researching. Knowing your essence, understanding the craft, and knowing your path is important first. It's okay to take several little practices, learning to be able to open and close circles, how to cast your spells, how to do prayers. All of this is going to be part of your research and studying. And these are the elements and the topics that you should be looking in today. But I'm going to go and get into a little bit more detail about my show and what I'm going to be doing to help you to be educated and more understanding of becoming a witch. Give me 2 minutes, guys, and I will be back. So yeah, when I start and I get all of this stuff, because I do like to write all of my stuff out, and I do like to make sure that I've got everything how it needs to be. So when I'm educating you, you are getting the best information and advice that you possibly can get. So I am just going into my section. I'm just going to get the bits out. Just know that when you come into witchcraft, it's not as daunting and as hard work as what people think it is. It's not always about lighting altars up all the time and fully dedicating to your deities all the time. Just being able to get out of bed, giving thanks and giving gratitude for being here can be enough. But if you are somebody that's like myself and you are very dedicated to your deities, you are very dedicated to your work, then you will light your altars and you would do your blessings and you would do things on a daily basis. I do like to form certain spells daily as well if I do not have client spells to work on. These spells are normally things like protection, happiness, good luck. If you are going to be starting and trying to learn how to cast spells, I would recommend that you start with those sorts of spells. But I would not recommend to anyone to be starting and doing that until you do have some understanding of the craft and the path that you want. It's really important that I do specify that to you. But when you do get to that element, you do get to that place where you feel that you're ready to be able to start understanding casting spells and things like that, then starting out with doing things like your protection, happiness, love, self love spells will be the ones for you to go for first. Do not go for these big ones like banishing and things like that. Do not work and do your magic on others, not till you have established how to work in the craft where you can open and close circles correctly and you can cast spells and you know that they work. There are a lot of apparatus and things that you will be needing along your journey as a witch and in your craft. And in these videos, I will give you that education and that understanding. But now I will talk to you about my show series and what you will get from them. So let's start. So, first, I would like to welcome you by saying Merry Me and welcome to Whispers of Willow. I am Willow and I am here to help you to understand more about witchcraft. I will learn you about coming into the craft, and my new series are linked to my show and to my Willow's Witchy Den and to 101. My new series are for educational purposes, helping new upcoming witches like yourselves that are coming to the craft, helping you to walk your journeys and your paths correctly and safely and with guidance. So, coming into my first topic, on my first series, I will be talking and educating you about the different types of witches, learning you about their practices and what they do in their practices, learning you about different tools and how they are relevant to their practices and them as those types of witches. I will give you brief descriptions about witches and how they work in their practices and things that are expected of them. I will also learn you about different types of spell work that they work with, bringing out in their practices and in their craft. And I will also give you some useful information on some of their beliefs and traditions as a witch. There are many forms of witches and many aspects and paths that you can take. So, research and looking into all different aspects of witches is really important. As I explained briefly in this video just before, you may come in to doing your studying and find that you have an interest in one topic, but then suddenly you come across one or another, and you've got two or three topics that you suddenly are interested in. Do not be daunted by this. It just means that you're more open to more types of magic and that you have more than just one element of which in you. You can use and incorporate these together. As long as you have the wisdom, you study, you educate, you can do as you please. Most witches that have more than one element to them are normally known as eclectic witches. I am also a natural witch and a solo witch, meaning I don't work with other witches apart from some of my few sisters that I trust completely. Most of my work is on my own and solely my own work, my own dedications, my own writings of prayer and openings and invocations, and just taking some aspects of my witch faiths that I have learned that are your rules and your laws in the craft and bringing them in as well. And learning and knowing how to respect and to work with your deities. So I will learn you about all of the aspects of becoming a witch, different types of witches. So there will be uploaded videos where I talk to you about different types of witches, how they practice, colours and tools and things that are represented to them, what they do in practices and what is expected. Some prayers and openings to your practice as well. I will inform these are all in our educational teachings for you to help you on your journey and to help you to do your work correctly. The next topic of my series is my topic where I'm going to educate you about the 8 witches' Sabbaths. I will learn you about the history of the Sabbaths and our traditions and how we celebrate the Sabbaths. I will learn you how to prepare for Sabbaths and to decorate, how to set up your Sabbath altars, and I will give you useful information on times and dates of these festivals. The Witchy Sabbath is linked to the wheel of the year, and these seasons all represent and correspond with importance in our world. There are certain aspects that we celebrate, honour, as well as our spirits, guides, and energies we work with. The Sabbaths and celebrations are very important in the witch community and is something that we do regularly. But this doesn't mean that you need to go out into a community to do this work. You could easily do it from home, and you may choose to be a solo witch like myself. But I will talk to you more about that in a few minutes. The third topic of my series that I will be bringing to you and helping you to learn more about will be my education about different types of gods and goddesses that you can work with and use in your crafts. I will learn you how to work with your gods and goddesses correctly and safely. Learn you about the symbols and tools connected to your gods, goddesses, also known as deities. I will give you historical information on different types of gods and goddesses, give you stories and history about them. I will also help you to learn how to work with your gods and goddesses in your practice and how to incorporate them in everyday life. And there will be lots of other useful information and facts that I will use on all of these topics that I have spoke to you in your videos too. These videos are clearly for you to be guided and to be able to work correctly and safely and to find your true power and essence and to be just you. Now, as a British witch, us British witches, pagans, and Wiccans celebrate the eight Sabbaths through a variety of modern practices. We do everything from feasting to honouring our ancestors and decorating with seasonal decorations in our homes and on our altars. Some of us will go out to community gathering events like festivals, processions, and bonfires. These are some of the most common factors that we like to celebrate. These celebrations are often focused on the natural world and the cycles of the year. For some of you, like myself, maybe you're not somebody that likes to be in big communities. You don't like to be open in to big communities. You don't want to work with other people. You don't want to give your energy to other people. Then you can be a solo witch and a natural witch and learn for yourself. You can still celebrate these Sabbaths and festivals at home, and you can make them as private and personal to you and your deities as you want. You do not have to follow every procedure that you see in a book or that you're educated by somebody that you may look up to. You can take sources of advice and bring that into your craft, but make your craft your own. This is the important essence that I specify to everyone. Your magic, your power, and your essence is your own. You can take advice, you can use advice, but when it comes to forming your magic, using your magic, be yourself because that is being true. Okay. So if you don't feel like going into communities and doing things like that, just do it from home. And as I said, make it personal, make it private, and make it secret to you and your deities, meaning your gods, goddesses, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Brother Sun, Sister Moon, all very important aspects in witchcraft. Some more information on the eight Sabbaths. The eight Sabbaths are the cycles of festivals that mark the year's turning points. The Witches' Sabbath holidays are celebrated by witches, Wiccans, and pagans. These are the 8 annual festivals that mark up the wheel of the year. These dates are based on ancient Celtic and Germanic art, agricultural festivals, and astronomical events. These events are not part of the British bank holidays, but some of these events are closely linked to some of the holidays that we celebrate in the UK. The Wheel of the Year is made up of 8 Sabbats. You've got the 4 greater gates and greater Sabbats, known as the fire festivals, and then you've got the 4 lesser Sabbats and gates that are known as your solar festivals. The greater Sabbaths, the fire festivals, are also known as cross-quarter days. These days are generally observed on the eve of the traditional date or on the traditional date itself. In calendars each year, dates for your festivals can vary. So it is really important to do your research and look up things to know when the dates are fully there. But they normally are around the dates that I'm going to give out to you. So the 8 Sabbaths that you are going to be needing to know about and learn about in the series that I will be bringing to you. So we have got obviously your fire festival Sabbaths first. So you've got the Imbolc, which is also known as Candlemas and Bridget's Day. This normally falls on the 1st or the 2nd of February. This festival is a mark of purification and the first signs of spring, preparation, and it is also a time for planting season. So planting if you're a farmer or planting your dreams and desires as a person. It's about manifesting and bringing out things that you want. Then you have the Beltane, which is known also as May Eve or May Day. This normally falls on April the 30th or May the 1st. This festival marks fertility. It marks the beginning of the summer, and it celebrates the union of our great God and our amazing and powerful goddess. These are celebrations of welcoming the light, welcoming change, and new beginnings. Then you have Lammas, which is on August the 1st. This is the first harvest of the year, and this festival is about giving thanks for grain harvest and is a festival for abundance of the earth, all of the gifts, all the presents, and all of the things that we are given by our Mother Earth. Then our next one is Samhain, which is our Halloween celebration and also known as All Hallows Eve. This celebration falls on October the 31st or the 1st of November. This festival is the final harvest of the year. And in many traditions, it's a time of honouring your ancestors, your loved ones that have deceased. And it is said to be the time that the veil is most finished between our world and the spirit world. It's a time for communication, for remembrance, and for bringing love and opening to your loved ones, to your ancestors, and remembering the dead. Then you have your lesser Sabbaths, also known as your solar festivals and your quarter days. These days link with the astronomicals of the solstices and the equinoxes. These dates can vary from a day or two on your calendar depending on the year and the way that all of our world is aligned. Okay. So the Sabbaths to be celebrated for that is Yule. Yule is our winter solstice and also known as the midwinter festival too. It is very much associated with Christmas, and this event falls on December the 20th to the 23rd. In this festival, we celebrate the longest night of the year, and we celebrate the rebirth of the sun god and the return of the light to the earth and to our world. Ostara, the spring equinox, also known as Lady Day. This falls on March the 20th to the 23rd. This celebration is a celebration of balance, as day and night are equal. It is a time of fertility, new growth, and renewal, bringing new things into your life, manifesting new things, and wanting new things. Then you have Lifa, which is our summer solstice, also known as the Midsummer Festival. This festival falls on June the 20th to the 23rd, but as I keep saying, days may vary. In this festival, we celebrate the longest day of the year, when the sun is at his most powerfulest and at his peak in his power. This is a joyful celebration of abundance, growth, and becoming. Morbon is the autumn or equinox and is also known as harvest home. This celebration falls normally on September the 20th to the 23rd. This is the second harvest of the year, and our festival is in celebration for giving thanks and reflecting on our year's bounties, the gifts, the offerings that we have achieved and been given. It's also a time to be respectful and to be grateful and to be thankful for all that you have been given and all you have been blessed with from the higher divine powers and from our natural world, our Mother Earth and Mother Nature. So these 8 Sabbaths are very important celebrations that nearly every witch in the world celebrates. Now, every witch is going to celebrate them differently, but there are key colors and tools and aspects that you would use in this. And this is the whole point of my videos, so that I can educate and learn you to be confident in your craft and to know what to do on these special occasions, but also so that you know what to do with yourself as a witch in daily basis. So I will be learning you about the Sabbaths, about the importance of them, how you can celebrate them, even bring in and incorporate in different foods, drinks, and things that you can use and make to celebrate and to honor the deities, energies, and the holiday that you're celebrating. So I do feel that it's really important to help you to understand and to know that as being new witches and coming into the craft, there is so much that you need to be able to research, study, and learn about before you even consider picking up a wand or casting a spell. It is really important and very, very much needed. Okay. And I strongly say this to you with respect and understanding for how long I have worked in the craft, that it's not as simple as just saying, I want to become a witch and then start casting your spells. You need to have education, research, and understanding of what you are, who you're becoming, how you work in these crafts, because with everything, danger can come. And the craft, as beautiful and as magical as it is, and just as much an uplifting energy, it can be negative as well if you don't use it in the right way. So it's really important to understand that before even considering setting your altars up, casting your spells, to practice, educate, teach, and learn yourself about all aspects and elements, including the reed and the threefold laws. There are certain laws and factors that you need to follow, even if you are a solo witch and you are not under or educated by anybody else. There are certain factors in the craft you need to follow, and there are certain factors you need to follow when it comes to working and doing your spell work and working with your deities. So, for you new witches coming into the craft, you are known as beginner witches, as I said to you before. And it is key to understand and to know the importance of all events that I speak of in my series. As new witches to the craft, it's important to understand how to work correctly and safely in the craft. These series are here to educate you and to help you to understand what type of practitioner or witch you are. These series will also help you to understand the 8 Sabbaths that are important to us witches in the craft. And our other important topic is understanding different types of gods and goddesses and how to work with them correctly in your practices. All these topics I discuss are very important when starting in witchcraft. It is key to have an understanding of who you want to be, how you choose to work in your practice. As a long term witch, I know how important and how dedicated you have to be in the craft when you first start out. Your first couple of years of being in the craft is all about discovering yourself, understanding yourself, and knowing how you want to practice when working in craft and in your power and in your magic. In my opinion, these three topics that I have briefly explained to you are the most important parts of becoming a witch today. My education and teachings in these videos will help you to understand your path. And it's really important that I specify that you must continue with your education, your research, and your studying. It's very important that you know all elements of what you are walking into and to understand and to know that is the witch path your way. Your first couple of years will normally be the ones that will tell you if you're meant to be in the craft or not. Okay, so dedication, research, and studying is key. Learning to work with your deities, becoming confident in doing spell work by reading, researching, and buying the things that you need. By doing this, then you will find your true self. And this will help you to walk your true path, which is what we all want to be doing. And these videos will help you to start your journey as a witch and working in the craft. I choose to do these videos and this series to give you advice, to give you guidance, to give you help. And by using these videos, you will be able to move forward on your new journey and path as a witch. Remember that you are important and you are special. And that when you are considering coming into the craft, it's normally because you have been called to. You have been asked to come forward to step in your essence, your energy, and your true self. Be prepared to do your studying, research, your education. Be prepared to work hard when you work with your deities. Be prepared to know that you're going to awaken. You are going to open to the world in a different way. You're going to see the world in a different way. You're going to start sensing, seeing, hearing, and feeling things that you normally wouldn't. The craft isn't just about casting spells and helping the world. It's about finding your true essence and your true power, the inner God and the inner goddess, which we have within all of us. So I hope that this video has helped you to understand and know what is coming in the new series. So the new series will be uploaded 3 times a week. And in those three times a week, you will have a video on a Sabbath. You will have a video to do with a god and a goddess. And you will have a video that's got 2 different types of witches and their practices that I will be uploading for you to watch and to become educated. Always make sure when you are doing these series and these educations as well that you've got your pens and your books with you. Write down information. Information is key. Journaling is key. Anything you learn, see, sense, feel, or you're shown should be wrote down. Not only is it a factor or a guide that you can go back to and know, it is something that is part of who you are. And you can hand this down to new coming members of your family that you feel may come into the craft at some point. You may be in a family that's already full of witches and that is your way. And you'll maybe considering having a family with your partner and you're wanting your children to one day be like you. Writing down all that you learn, educate, writing down all of your spells, writing down all of your dreams, writing down all of your experiences, your signs, your visions, all of these will help them to be educated, and to be greater fellow witches themselves when they come into their power and their time. So it's so much more than just being a witch and helping the world and casting spells. It's about keeping an era of life going. It's about keeping that energy, that essence, and that truth of our ancestors going. I find that the craft is the most true and purest way as a religion. Maybe not a religion in concepts as Christianity or anything like that, but to us, it's a religion, it's a faith. It's something that we believe in, we follow, and we have experienced. I'm in the craft because I have had daily experiences. I have always been able to connect and communicate with the dead, and I have always been connected to the natural world. I have always had experiences and been able to see and do things that others don't. And I've always known that I was different. So from a very young age, I become very interested in the craft. I opened myself to the craft. At first, I was very cautious about the people and them knowing what I was, and I was a very private and hidden witch. But then over time and growing and realizing the people that I helped, I decided I didn't want to hide who I was anymore, that I didn't need to. For many years, the people that needed to know what I was knew, but most of the world was closed to who I was. But now I love being who I am, and I love being open, and I love educating others. And it's the most realist form of belief to follow. You are celebrating and worshipping energies connected to things we see every day, elements of nature, elements of the universe, elements that are around us all the time. We are not just worshipping something that's made up, we are worshipping something that is here and seen every day. We worship energies, deities connected to the natural and the spiritual worlds. And through doing that, we are able to do amazing things like healing, helping, and, guiding people on their right paths. We can bring people hope and opening. We are not these evil, nasty practitioners that people make us out to be. We are people that care about our world and care about people. And we believe in bringing the greater and the good into our world. We know that our world is a messed up place due to the ways of people's actions and things sometimes, and the way that the world is changing. I know that the world can be chaos and hectic and all these sort of things, but I always see the beauty and the understanding of this world and why it's the way it is. And I have those deep connections to it too. I have seen, experienced many deities, energies, and ways for many years. And I've come too far in my life, in my craft, to even be able to turn around and say that anything that I follow is not real, because it is real and it's true. I cast spells. I help people when they work. I worship and I honour gods and goddesses and other deities like Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Brother Sun, Sister Moon, and other deities that I work in my other practices. And I have always been able to rely on them, and they have always made things happen for me. And I am somebody that, over my time in life, I've not had an easy life and I've had a trying life, but my life has grown me to be more stronger and more in my own essence. And if there is anything that I have learned from life, that life is a lesson, and that every lesson we learn is not us being tortured or us being steered wrong. It's a lesson that allows us to grow, to become greater, and to truly understand who we're meant to be. Lessons are supposed to be, because lessons make you greater. And remember that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please keep an eye out for my second video, which is where I will be describing to you in a little bit more detail about the shows that I'm going to be bringing to you. And then there will be a third show, which will be where there's some useful information, where I will talk to you a bit about the witch's reed, the threefold law, um, talking to you about how to set up altars, learning you to be comfortable in yourself, and to just be you and be in your power and be in your energy. But the second video that you're coming to you very shortly is all about things that are expected of you as a witch. Okay. So it's kind of like a list of procedures you need to follow. And it's also a list that, in some of the elements that I speak about, gives you a bit of reassurance that you don't have to be so full on all the time. That just be yourself and be natural. The craft is not meant to be hard. It's meant to be exciting and fun. And it's also meant to be uplifting and helping you to find your power, your essence, and your true self. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I hope that you are looking forward to my new series coming. So keep an eye out on my channel for the next couple of weeks. And as I said to you, the videos will be going up 3 times a week. And these will be the Sabbaths, different types of witches, and gods and goddesses, and all of the elements and the things that you need to know about these amazing topics. So tune in for that, and tune in for the new videos that are coming just before them as well. So as I said, the second video is more education and, little guidelines on what to do for yourselves. The third video will be more detail about how to use your tools, knowing your different tools, um, being comfortable to casting your spells and opening your circles, just general information that you should know. Okay. And don't be scared to follow others that you look up to. Don't be scared to look in books. Don't be scared to look online and research, but just be careful where you go online. Okay. I wouldn't recommend you looking on Google, for instance. If you're going to go in and look into information and learn about your topics as a witch, then look for witch sites. There are many links and things put out on Facebooks and other social platforms where you can link to witch websites, and you can learn aspects and things that you need to. Remember to journal and to write down all that you learn, especially in your first couple of years of becoming a witch. You need to write down everything that you learn about your deities, about your Sabbaths, about your practice, and also writing down things that you want to bring into your practice. You may find elements through others, you may find scriptures and prayers and things that you like, but you don't feel that all that wording is right and you want to change it. Do it. You are making your craft your own. You are not meant to be like anybody else. You are only meant to be like yourself. Okay. And your deities, your energies, your gods, goddesses, all of these aspects that you work with, appreciate it when it comes from your heart and when it comes from being dedicated and trying. Okay. And just be prepared that if you are going to come into the craft, really think about if it's something for you first, and don't go fully dedicate yourself to things without fully understanding it. Okay. Education, research, study is key first for your couple of years. Little bits of practice in small spells like your love, luck, protection, they're fine. But do not go on to any of your bigger ones until you have got that confidence, you've got that understanding, and you know who you are. Now, when I say know who you are, it doesn't mean that you're going to know every path that you're going to walk, but you're going to know your essence of you and who you are and what you want to do. Okay. The rest of it comes as you walk your journey and your path. Okay. You will find other paths that open to you, other ideas and interests. And this is all part of becoming your true self. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it and tune in for the next video, giving you some more useful help in becoming a witch, becoming part of the craft. And we welcome you, brothers and sisters, and may you be blessed. Blessed be.